Hello, family. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We are live. We are live here and I'm coming at you with five on X, Rumble, and ScrewTube. Of course, welcome. Please make sure you're smashing up. If you're on X, obviously you can smash a heart for me. So I need everybody to smash a heart on X. Smash a heart on X, please. How we doing tonight? Hope everyone is doing good this evening. Where's my West Coast family? All my family on the West Coast. Black Folk, trying to see him in the longest. I'm wondering how he's been. Some chick named Star. Hope y'all are doing great. Oh, how are you doing, Danielle? How you doing? What's up, family? We are this weekend has gone by too quick. Time has flown so fast. But it is Black Music Month, and Black Music Month is the month of June, June 1st, today. And if you were on my YouTube channel or you on X, I had made a post about to my Los Angeles family, my California family, for a reason, and that was because uh, I had this picture of this gentleman here. Since we're celebrating Black Music Month. Oh, what's going on, Danielle? You don't have an X account? We don't have to see about that. So, since we're celebrating Black Music Month today, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to. This is our comment, our post for the day, our Black Music Month moment. So, I had put this person out here, so anybody knows I actually posted about this gentleman before. Who this man in this picture? He is the founder of Solar Records. Solar Records actually stands for the Sound of Los Angeles. That's who he is. He actually bought this from Soul Train, and he was responsible. His recording company was responsible for launching the careers of several groups, especially popular R&B groups like Shalimar. Shalimar was on Solar Records, as well as Climax. You had the Silvers, the Whispers, the Great Whispers, and Soul Train. I mentioned this. Soul Train, Sound of Los Angeles Records is the acronym. Don Cornelius had a record company called Soul Train Records, and Griffey ended up buying out the Soul Train Records, and it became Solar. And they put out records from disco, of course, different genres from R&B, disco, soul music, boogie, all of that type of stuff. But he was responsible for launching the careers of Babyface Edmonds, Kenneth Babyface Edmonds, because Kenneth Babyface Edmonds, and I'm going to actually feature him one day because Babyface is a dynamic producer and songwriter. To me, he's one of my heroes in R&B music for what he did in music, writing stuff with especially L.A. Reid. But this is, I said, who is this? This is Dick Griffey. So Dick Griffey, of course, he was also a promoter because he actually helped get Kool in the Gang. I believe he helped to get J.T. Taylor, the lead singer, with Kool in the Gang. Kool in the Gang, I don't think ever was with Solar Records, but he was a concert promoter, He served time in the Navy, and he was big. He helped beef up Los Angeles. Solar Records in the 70s and the 80s was very popular. The Whispers essentially helped carry that company with hits like Rock Steady, Keep On Loving Me, and of course, And the Beat Goes On. But that also is credited to Leon Silvers, who was the producer of those albums, like the Whispers' earlier albums. So shout out to Dick Griffey. He is our Black Music moment, Black Music Month moment for today, ladies and gentlemen. I wanted to talk about him and highlight his contributions. And if you want to read more on Dick Griffey, go ahead to go to Wikipedia or Google, and you can look up information on Dick Griffey, what he did out in Los Angeles. So Danielle wrote that Brian McKnight's son Nico passed away. Yeah, Brian McKnight's son Nico, who was 32 years old, had been battling cancer, from what I'm understanding. I don't know which kind of cancer he had. Interesting enough, Danielle, I read an article. Do you know that they're stating more young people are getting colon cancer? Younger people are developing colon cancer now at a higher rate. That's what happened with the Black Panther, uh, Chadwick Boseman. That's what he died of. And he was in his 40s. Yeah, everybody's getting colon cancer. Your health is your wealth, people. You got to take care of yourself. If you need a break from work, I know a lot of us work to death. I get worked to death sometimes. I'm to the point now, as I've gotten older, that I'm not going to be doing anything like that anymore. But yeah, he called Brian McKnight was estranged from his children, his earlier children, from that he had with his first wife, Julie McKnight. And yeah, he called those kids products of sin. Yeah, he was a shitbag for that. He's called his children products of sin. And yeah, Nico died at 32 years old after battling cancer. That was announced by his uncle. His uncle actually was a member of the gospel group Take Six? Claude McKnight. And he actually wrote, thank you for bringing this up to attention, because we are talking about music. We're also talking about, I'm going to be talking about Zion Williamson in a minute. But yeah, I was sad to hear about this young brother's passing. Yeah, he even captioned, he asked if anybody wants to leave a comment, do so in love. Don't talk about the relationship that his nephew had with his brother. Yeah, which I can understand. He wants to keep things positive, but let's see if we can play. I'll play a little bit of it.
So all day, I said to myself I wasn't going to post about this. And as the day wore on, I realized that how could I not post about this? This morning, I found out that my nephew, Nico McKnight, passed away. He'd been bravely battling cancer for the last 2 years or so. And I have a lot of feelings right now. I'm not going off a script or anything like that. It's going to be raw with how I'm feeling. Nico was one of those amazing kids who was quirky and curious and ridiculously talented. Amazing singer, an amazing guitar player, had a great eye, was a photographer. And just one of those kids that, at least in my estimation, was somebody you always wanted to be around. And so it really sucks that he's no longer with us. And I will also say, probably one of the reasons why I wasn't going to post about it is I post a lot of things, but I don't post a lot of really, really serious subject things, or certainly family things. And I wanted to post this about Nico, about his legacy, about how amazing he is, and not about what some of you may have heard about, the family drama that has existed for quite some time in our family. I'm not here to discuss that or to talk about how that happened or why it happened. Um, this is not the time or the place, but what I will say is in any situation, there's always at least three sides to a story. There's my side, your side, and the truth. And the truth, a lot of times, is somewhere in between. So here's the thing, I don't know exactly what was going on there. I know what I've seen, I know what I've heard from all parties involved, and I try not to judge. I just try to be as loving to each person as I can be because apparently there's so much hurt going on, or was so much hurt going on, that a lot of things didn't get resolved. And again, I want to go back to Nico. I know that kid had a lot inside, a lot eating at him for a long, long, long time. That may have contributed to what happened with him. What I do know is he's out of pain now. And so I can rejoice in the fact that he no longer has to go through the chemo and the radiation and everything else. But I just want to uplift that young man and say we will see him again one day. I love you, Nico, Uncle Claude.
Yeah. I don't know what the relationship was like. Let me put my music back on. The relationship, of course, Brian McKnight obviously had with his kids uh, wasn't a good relationship. They weren't on good standing. It's still sad, however, to see uh, that situation play out. But, you hope and you wish that they had some solace and some reconciliation before his passing. You never want to, uh, especially if you didn't get along with a loved one or had issues, have any regrets where I never talked to anybody or you never talked to your son. You ain't shit. I don't want to ever see you again. And that type of situation, and then they die unexpectedly before you got a chance to tell them how you really felt, tell them you love them, how much they mean to you. And it seems like it was that type of situation. But sadly, at 32 years old, 32 years of age, that's young, and he doesn't get the chance to obviously. I don't think Nico had any children or never got married, unfortunately, and sadly, that's something his family will be living with. And his father, especially Brian McKnight, I'm hoping he's feeling it because that's your child, win or lose. Whatever you're going through in life, you're tied forever to him. And, for him to say they're products of sin, I thought that was terrible. That was a terrible thing for him to say. And if there is a God, and I believe there is, like all of us, are going to be judged for the things we've done. So I'm not going to sit here and judge Brian McKnight, but at the same time, to say something like that, and you were married to Julie McKnight, and this was a child he said it's a product of sin. Y'all were married. It was a legitimate relationship. What sin? It's a shame. But I want to respect the young man, his family. May he rest in peace. It's a time to celebrate his life. And he was an excellent guitar player from what I've seen. I've seen videos. He actually was on his father's album. And I do know, and I will point this out, Brian McKnight, I believe, had helped his kids try and get starts in their career. And I think there were issues with that, issues with monies and so forth. But yeah, Brian McKnight has new children now with another woman who he's acknowledged and even changed his name to reflect that of his son, his new son. So, and I think that's a shame. Yeah, I just think that whole thing is a shame. But yeah, it's a travesty. I will move on. Friday, we had a show. So I came on Friday because I interviewed author B.G. Rule on Sam Cooke, The Truth. That was her book. And we talked about Sam Cooke. Y'all can go online and check that out if you have. We sat for 2.5 hours and talked about Sam Cooke, about the music industry, the status of it, and just chopping up game. It was like talking to someone I'd known for a long time. I enjoyed interviewing her. I don't know if anybody got to see the replay or rebroadcast. I'll try and chop it up so there's some clips, but I hope you all enjoyed it. Tell me what you thought of the video, of the live stream with author BG Rule. Make sure you support her. Also, you can support me. Look, you all know that what's going on. Of course, my channel's not monetized. If you love me for my time, you can pay me for my time by dropping something in a Cash App, Zelle, or PayPal. And just make sure you subscribe. to the Rumble page, random topics. Ladies and gentlemen, go ahead and do that. So, like I said, I don't come on the live stream as often, but I did want to talk about something because I'm broadcasting this on X and Rumble. Make sure you're sharing on X, ladies and gentlemen. We're gonna get right into it. Of course, y'all know that we have our two teams for the NBA Finals. Yesterday, the Indiana Pacers beat the New York Knicks. I believe the final score was 100 and the Thunder and the Pacers are going to be in the championship. And I believe yesterday the score the Knicks lost the score of 125 to 108. I guess everybody was laughing because when they were announcing the Eastern Conference Finals MVP, one of the players got up thinking it was going to be him. Pascal Siakam won the MVP, but Halliburton thought he won and was going to walk up because he was hitting like multiple three-pointers yesterday. And Reggie Miller was down there. And Reggie Miller, of course, was a legendary player back in the 90s with the Indiana Pacers. So they have that out. And we're talking NBA. Particularly, we're talking about Zion Williamson. I'm going to get to it in a minute. But yeah, this was the video. Yeah, Larry Bird, of course, was the coach of the Indiana Pacers. He was a legendary Boston Celtics player, but he was the Indiana Pacers head coach for a while. I actually took him to the finals back in 2000. I remember that. And yesterday was actually the last Inside the NBA on TNT after 35 years. They're actually moving it to ESPN.
This is the Larry Bird Trophy. It goes to the MVP of the Eastern Conference Finals. And that MVP is Pascal Siakam.
Like, oh damn, that should have been me. Yeah, so that's been going viral. They've been talking about that. He thought he got it, but now I gotta turn the music off because it's distracting me. But what we're gonna be talking about tonight, fam, of course, Zion Williamson, who is a star player for the New Orleans Pelicans. A lawsuit was filed against him on Thursday in Los Angeles Superior Court by a Jane Doe, who claimed that when she began dating Williamson, who was at Kentucky at the time, he played for Duke at the time, and she alleged she was in an abusive behavior from 2020 through 2023, and that abusive behavior allegedly happened across different states, including California, Louisiana, and Texas. She claims that she was raped and it was repeatedly and within this time period, and that she was in this abusive behavior. The lawsuit basically alleges that Williamson temporarily took the plaintiff's mobile phone from her after the first, Associated Press pop-ups keep coming up when I'm doing this. I'm going to share the article with you so you all can see. I thought I had it up. So the lawsuit alleges that Williamson temporarily took the plaintiff's mobile phone from her after the first two instances of the rape, and also took her laptop after the second. The complaint also includes accusations of strangulation, death threats to the plaintiff and her family, and physical abuse, including being kicked, slammed with the car door, and suffocated until she lost consciousness. We're going to be very cautious about litigating this in the press, said the plaintiff's attorney, Sam Taylor, who is with the Lanier law firm in Los Angeles. It goes further. This is a very serious case as reflected in the allegations in the complaint, which are pretty detailed. Taylor continued, adding that his client genuinely looks forward to her day in court when she can tell a jury of her peers what happened to her and seek justice. Now, let me just say this. This part is interesting. They said that Williamson and Balasico, Balasico, who is Zion's attorney out here, Michael Balasico, says that the parties never dated, but they had a consensual, casual relationship that began when Williamson was 18. So this was over 6 years ago. At no point during or immediately after the relationship did the plaintiff raise any concerns. Balasico said, adding that only after the friendship ended, she began demanding millions of dollars. Williamson also intends to file counterclaims and seek significant damages for this defamatory lawsuit. A Pelican spokesman said the club was aware of the matter but deferred comment to Williamson's lawyer. Now, Williamson, of course, Zion, for those that don't follow basketball, he basically became, he was the star, or is the star of the New Orleans Pelicans, although he has not really been a great star for the Pelicans. His career has been hampered by weight issues because eating all these damn po' boys and gumbo while he's down here. Not working out, injuries, and he's left a lot to be desired. And in the 6 years that he's been in the league, and especially with the New Orleans Pelicans, the only thing he's managed to score are OnlyFans and porn star models, because apparently he's got another woman who is mulling over filing a lawsuit against him, and he has, I believe, a couple of baby mamas. One, of course, he's had not married but had relations with, and a lot of drama has been surrounding brother Zion Williamson. Now, I know he's young, and I'm not going to get up here and just attack the brother, but I have to say, for all the talent in the world that someone has and all the money that you have, how you can not show any intelligence, especially with picking these women that you're sleeping with. You would think athletes, for some reason, I don't know why, Shannon Sharp, at least Zion Williamson has an excuse because he's young. Shannon Sharp is in his 50s. Now, when I say that, I'm not talking about the SA or the grape that is alleged. Obviously, that's no excuse regardless of your age. But when you're talking about messing around and sleeping with, and I don't know the young lady who's accusing him, but I'm just saying in general, loose women you're messing around with, you would think all the horror stories that we've heard that athletes have seen, that's been since let's just say since the 80s, the 70s and the 80s, when we heard stories. Remember what happened with Mike Tyson and Robin Givens? Now, I'm not saying she was loose or a hoe, but the gold digging aspect of it, just the groupies that have been around these actors and every story we've heard. We've heard stuff. I remember reading about Lee Majors. If anybody knows Lee Marvin, excuse me. Anybody who knows who Lee Marvin is, Lee Marvin was an old school old actor from the Dirty Dozen movie. And I don't know if anybody watches it, but he died in the 80s. But he was with a woman, a partner named Michelle Triola, and she sued him for palimony even though they weren't married. They cohabitated. And I'm not going to say she was also partners with Dick Van Dyke. Damn, she got it. So from the 70s. So she married these actors, not married, but was partnered up with these actors for years, never married. And she sued Lee Marvin to get money when the relationship ended because they cohabitated. And ever since that incident, there have been other actors and actresses who have been sued for the same thing. Now, what we are and the age we live in, like I said, many of these, of course, they're not thinking with their heads. They're thinking, well, by head, I mean their brain. They're thinking with another head. And Zion is now this woman here. Her name is, she's an adult film star. Her name is Moriah Mills. She is, she got on with TMZ to reach out, uh, mulling about filing her own lawsuit and possibly contacting Tony Busby about filing a lawsuit against Zion Williamson. Now, let me just explain who Moriah Mills is. She is an OnlyFans model. Uh, she's an adult film star. That's should all you need to know when you hear that. But there's a little bit more. Apparently, she had a relationship with Zion back as far as I can tell in 2022, 23. And around that time, that's when Zion Williamson had his first child, if I'm not mistaken. And she wrote a series of tweets against Zion Williamson, basically trying to extort money from him because she claimed to have tapes with her and Zion in a compromising position. And she threatened to release those tapes against him unless she got paid up. And this is documented in messages she's put on Twitter, formerly Twitter. It's X now, formerly Twitter, I should say. She's put these up, and these are her. So that's her. Don't let the front fool you, y'all. She is built like she came out of a German laboratory by Dr. Frankenstein. All concrete, nothing is still. It don't wiggle. Oh, jeez. All right. I've already allowed these ads, so I don't know why this should fix it. So she made claims against Williamson in the past about their relationship. Now, I mentioned Busby. So she went on TikTok and she said the following: everybody deserves a chance to be heard. And I hope me and the other victims all get justice. Now, I don't believe there has not been confirmed that she is the woman that is mentioned in the lawsuit. I doubt it because she said she was reaching out to an attorney to do so, but who knows? She could be mulling it, saying she's mulling over. That could be her, but that's her. And she went on TikTok and posted the video. And these are her tweets. So when it was found out that he was getting married to another woman, well, not married, but having a child with another woman, uh, she wrote this. So remember, the internet, nothing is truly deleted. So Moriah Mills wrote, "Hope your leg heals before the season. You're going to lose everything and suffer for what you did to me. Justice. Gonna lose everything and fail. You'll never come back from this. You lose all your endorsements if the sex tapes drops. You about to be traded and ranked, be lured and replaced by trade on Pelicans NBA. It's over for you. Fat bust. No one betrays me." And so NBA, I have sex with me and Zion Williamson, and he also has them on his trap phone. Trade him now. He doesn't deserve to be in New Orleans. Sex tapes dropping soon. Trade this man, and enough is enough. So, does this sound like a woman who is a victim, or is this a bitter ex? If that, I don't know if anybody can see the. Oh, let me know if you can actually see the screen. So she wrote these. This is on her X. This is on her platform. Anybody can pull it up. Obviously, the Daily Mail did, and they were able to pull this up and see this. So you think if it's on the Daily Mail, trust me, Zion Williamson's attorneys have this as well. Now, this was after he was expecting his first child when these things came up, and his first child was with another woman, and apparently, this is just how it comes to me. She found out he was with another woman and didn't like it. Now, this is his ex. This is another woman. She got arrested by Kenner police for throwing eggs at his house. This is Akima Love after she allegedly egged her rival's home, threatening the woman on social media and later attacking her at Williamson's house. Cops say the unnamed victim had lacerations on her face. According to officers, Love fled the scene but was arrested nearby on Royal Palm Drive in the Gabriel development, which is a gated community along Lake Pontchartrain. So a bond was set at $50,000 on Tuesday, and she was charged with 3 counts of home invasion, aggravated battery, and stalking. Now, the case that he has in the lawsuit case that had been filed in California, that person is the alleged victim is asking for $18 to $50 million. Now, the trick with now I mentioned Tony Busby. Now, this is Akima Love. She's the mother of Zion's Williamson's daughter. So that's her here. So this is the woman here. Look at the hair here. Look at a complete difference. She looks like older Gina from Martin. Gosh. So this is his first baby. This is his first baby mother. I think he has 2. So now, and of course, Stephen Head Smith had to weigh in on it. So this is what he had to say. Hold on. Fair use.
But you just find yourself saying, damn. Another accusation. And again, we don't know what the outcome will be. What we know is that until some outcome is decided, this accusation will be out there about him. And in all likelihood, it will forever remain. And this accusation will stain him. I just wish that we can come to conclusion sooner than later. And if somebody is innocent, particularly after being falsely accused, there's a price to pay for those who falsely accuse others. If you're guilty of such a thing, throw your ass under the jail. Rape, sexual assault, these are unforgivable sins. But you just find yourself saying, damn. Another.
Right.
It's been a rough.
Here's the thing: we don't know what happened. We don't know if this.
But you
is
just
true
find
or
yourself
not.
saying, damn.
I don't want to play the TMZ article because video because TMZ, they will copyright your stuff. They will copyright things immediately. Yeah, she had Zion Williamson's face name tattooed on her cheek. Oh, come on. Nope. And so this is an article. So this is Fox 8. Let's see which ones I can play. So this is courtesy of WDSU. Let's see if I can play this one.
Pelican star Zion Williamson faces rape and abuse allegations from a woman who is claiming to be a former girlfriend.
In court documents, the woman identified as Jane Doe is accusing the star of raping her twice and then continuing a pattern of abusive behavior. This, as Zion's attorney says, they've reported the plaintiff's extortion attempts to law enforcement.
We have team coverage for you on this case tonight. First, let's start with WDSU reporter
He's stating these were extortion attempts by the Jane Doe who filed this, which essentially it wouldn't surprise me to call it that because that's what we're seeing. You notice there's a pattern. It's always one woman, then it leads to two women. They all talk about how, yes, I had this relationship with him, but that didn't excuse the abusive behavior, the trafficking, how he kidnapped me and all of this stuff. You notice the pattern? We see it with him. We see it with Diddy. Smokey Robinson is hitting back. Yeah, Smokey Robinson got sued. By the way, Smokey Robinson has filed a counterclaim for $500 million in defamation as a result of this lawsuit, not only against the accusers, but also against their attorneys.
From Field as she breaks down what is in those court documents, Ariel.
Hey guys, this lawsuit was filed yesterday by a woman who was making some very serious accusations, and at this time, she is seeking both emotional and monetary damages. Pelican star Zion Williamson now defending his name against sexual assault allegations after a woman who claims to be his ex-girlfriend says he raped and abused her.
Those lawsuits could come from a variety of reasons, whether or not it's redress of damages, seeking to right a wrong.
Right. Stavros, and I know Stavros, excellent criminal defense lawyer, by the way, if you're in New Orleans. So what he's talking about is the purposes, obviously, of getting damages when you file a lawsuit. People have their reasons, but a lawsuit is not criminal court. A lawsuit is not the same as pressing charges. And you notice that's the pattern with all of this. I've noticed ever since I've seen what happened with Bill Cosby, women will not go to the police. They go to a civil attorney to file a lawsuit to get damages. Now, the statute of limitations typically is like a year from when an incident occurs in which to get damages. However, I noticed, especially after the Bill Cosby situation, the laws in certain states have changed. They've extended the statute of limitations to, let's say, from something that was 1 year. Now they can actually do look-backs if they were children. Of course, they've done that for children who've been the victims of. And we're sympathetic to children of so, but especially what happened with things with the Catholic Church. Also, these look-back laws, we could go back 40, 50 years and look at this. We can go back 2 years. What was a statute of limitation would have been 10 years. Now they've extended it to 20 or 30 in some states as a result. of that.
Or just simply trying to get some money out of somebody.
In a civil lawsuit filed Thursday in California, the alleged victim says she and Williamson maintained a relationship from 2018 to 2023. And in court documents, she details what she says happened. According to those documents, she says Zion pinned plaintiff down on the bed with her hands behind her back and raped her. In another instance, she says he picked her up, threw her down to the ground, and pinned her shoulders down so she could not move. She says the defendant violently raped her in multiple ways. In a statement, Michael Blasio, Williamson's attorney, pushing back against the allegations, saying the allegations contained in the complaint are categorically false and reckless, and an attempt to exploit a professional athlete driven by a financial motive rather than any legitimate grievance. Legal analysts are weighing in on the claims.
It could be that this case could be prosecuted both civilly and criminally if the prosecuting authorities in California or any other state choose to do so. But that can depend on a case-by-case evaluation by the district attorneys in each jurisdiction.
Court documents also say Williamson is accused of a continuing pattern of sexual assaults and abusive behaviors toward the plaintiff, spanning across several states. A legal analyst says statutes of limitations for sexual assault vary state by state. Court documents
Okay, I don't know what's going on with my I don't know what's going on with the connection here. Or why it's doing that. I'm gonna try and play the video again, but right, he's correct. He's talking about the statute of limitations, how it varies. That's absolutely right. They do vary across from state. But like I stated, she filed this in California, and let's be real, it's actually in California. They've been very friendly with a lot of these look back statues, this Me Too stuff. They've been very friendly with them.
say the first rape happened in California nearly 7 years ago.
In Louisiana, you only have a year to file from date of incident. In the case of an allegation regarding sexual assault or sexual violence of some form in Louisiana, the period is 3 years from the date of the alleged incident. In other states, that number of years varies. My understanding is in California, it may be up to 10 years.
And at this time, the next steps would be for Williamson and his team to respond to the lawsuit, and then things will move into discovery. Williamson also says that he was not in a relationship with the plaintiff. He claimed that they were just in a consensual situation. Reporting in New Orleans, I'm Mario Brumfield.
And we did also learn.
So you have that. So this is the Moriah Mills video I want to share with y'all. So she said this. This is her TikTok. This is how this woman is shaped. She's had some work. But this is her video. This is what she said about it. It's got 1.3 million.
Everybody deserves a chance to be heard. And I hope me and any of the other victims, you know, I just hope we all get justice. And the amount of bashing, humiliation, slander, and threats that I've been receiving these last 3 years have been a lot, and it's causing me a lot of stress, emotional distress, and I just hope we all can come to justice and this all can be resolved and nobody has to relive all these things ever again. Everybody deserves a chance to be heard, and I hope me and any of the other victims, you know, I just hope we all get justice. And the amount of bashing, humiliation, slander, and threats that I've been receiving these last
Somebody play the violin.
3 years have been a lot, and it's causing me a lot of stress, emotional distress, and I just hope we all can come to justice and this all can be resolved and nobody has to relive all these things ever again. Everybody deserves a chance to be heard, and
I'm
I hope
done with this.
me and any of the other victims,
How we doing, Gigi? Let me stop the video. I'm everything. She's Tanya from Everybody Hates Chris. Mom, Drew hit me again. That's what people were putting in the comment section. But no, what we were saying? Yeah, 50 million. You notice it's always, that number, $50 million, 50 million, 50 million. Right. Shannon Sharpe is being sued for 50 million. Gigi. That's correct. Yeah, like 50 million seems to be the lucky number everybody's going for with this. The lawsuit, from what I read, remember what I told you, is between 18 million to 50 million. So this woman, though, is stating, who you just saw, Mills, this is not the woman who, by all intents and purposes, from my research and just looking at it, she's not the one who filed the lawsuit. She said she's mulling about filing a lawsuit and contacting Tony Busby. And Busby, as we know, he is the ambulance chaser. He is taking Gloria Allred's place, in my opinion, with these lawsuits, because he sued Diddy. He sued Deshaun Watson first. That's how I knew him. Deshaun Watson, because he had the accusations against him. Then it went from Deshaun Watson to with Diddy and Jay-Z. Jay-Z went at him and filed a countersuit because they had a woman who, even by own claims, was autistic. Remember, they had that lawsuit up in New York, but Diddy and Jay-Z were being sued by the same woman. The case had to be dismissed because the woman got caught in so many lies, it wasn't even funny. You got to watch them when they give specific dates. He could show he wasn't there or wasn't around where she said she was at this time. Then you had, of course, the Diddy case. He's representing accusers there. He did a whole press conference asking for women or anybody that was involved with Sean Diddy Combs to contact a hotline number. So he has been busy doing all of these. And what happens when you have a lawsuit like what you're doing with the Diddy or Deshaun Watson, and also he's representing a woman who's suing Shannon Sharpe, Gabby. Now, what I'm saying is that the point of all of that is there's a pattern with Mr. Busby, and there's a pattern what we're seeing with these lawsuits, because when you can get multiple women to say that somebody did something to them, they don't really have to have any evidence, but the numbers are so overwhelming that most people, especially if it were to go to court, and let's be clear, these are high-profile celebrities. Of course, these jurors have seen news articles. We've seen the stories. They have the documentaries. Everybody sees them. So it takes the jury pool, because they're looking at it and think, well, if he had 50 women who are saying this, while some of them may not all be telling the truth, all of them may not be lying either. That's what a lot of people think. That's the thinking of some Americans when they see this stuff. But that is not also the case. All things are not created equal. And it's clear this is the new extortion attempt to get celebrities to get money, because lawyers, as an attorney myself, and no, I haven't done things like this. I would never do anything where if I believe a case had no merit, I'm obligated not to actually support that. I'm obligated not to take something on like that. I have to certify when I sign a petition that it's truthful. That's what lawyers are supposed to do. That's required. That's in the civil code. article of procedures. So, and that's Busby. Now, if he gets convicted, if Diddy gets convicted, of course, of anything, there's civil forfeiture. Cassie, as you know, she got paid a settlement, but guess what? More money could probably come from these lawsuits. More money could come from the government because they can forfeit and seize the assets. Now, with Zion Williamson, I don't know what his money is like. Zion Williamson, of course, he's only been in the league 6 years. He is star player for the Pelicans, and I've already told you, like, his career though has gone downhill as of yet. He never really kicked off. He's a power forward, and Zion, his net, of course, because he can't stop messing with these women and keep it in his pants. His net worth is about 10 million. He signed a 5-year rookie extension with the Pelicans worth 193 million guaranteed, potentially increasing to 231 million if he makes an all NBA team. And he has a 5-year, $75 million shoe deal with brand. So he has a brand, and his brand obviously will get affected by any type of allegation of assault or trouble with the law of any kind. And of course, it's not uncommon. I'm seeing this crap. It's not uncommon to see that. These celebrities, these stars, they getting in trouble with messing around with the wrong women. The relationships always end up going south. What say you all, ladies and gentlemen? I think he's going to survive this. I don't think he's going to have any trouble at all. I think these cases will get. I can only imagine just by my research and it, just looking at it, cases like this will probably get laughed out of court and won't make it. But who knows? It might very well happen. All right. What say y'all, family? You think Zion Williamson is going to be in trouble? Yeah. Keep it in your pants, guys. Mess with girls. Mess with girls that are on your level and also more mature. Well, maybe not on your level, Zion, but that are mature. That don't in it for you. That are not in it for your money, but are in it for you because they love you. That's what I'm seeing. Same thing with Shannon Sharp and others. Yeah. Like the Delary said, in a thin line between love and hate, one night of passion can lead to a lifetime of pain. Y'all remember that movie, A Thin Line Between Love and Hate? Martin Lawrence made. Oh man, that was classic. Martin Lawrence and Bobby Brown. All right, fam, we're gonna get ready to wrap this up, but I want to talk about this. Yeah, protect your assets, man. Have people around you. Make sure you have cameras recording everything you're doing in your house. Make sure you be careful who you let in. Oh, come on now. Don't hate on me, Danielle, because I wouldn't hit them cheeks. I wouldn't hit your cheeks. I had to pay for I paid for them cheeks. I had every right to hit it. I had every I was more entitled than I was when Skip Bayless was coming at me on the set of Undisputed. I had a right. He disrespected me. And this woman was not gonna let me clap cheeks after I paid $5,000 for each cheek. That was unacceptable. I'm like, come on, Skip. I should have had them cheeks. I want to bust it open. Michelle Mabel. All right. Yeah, I think he'll pull through it. Smash up the likes, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure you subscribe to the Random Topics channel. You also, to support me, you can buy my Christmas album song since it's hot. Be My Baby for Christmas on iTunes. Yeah, I have that. I have a couple of stuff. Commonwealth of Pennsylvania versus William H. Cosby. That's on Kindle. And yeah, I will see you all in the next one. This wasn't going to be a long live stream. So, you all say I'm your type because you can't get me. I'm into that vanilla swirl. I do that. I got jungle fever. We got jungle fever. She's got jungle fever. We're in doves. That's right, baby. Don't hate the player, Danielle. Even Stevie Wonder could see it. She went black girl crazy. I went white girl hazy. Oh yeah, today too is I just realized this. June 1st is the anniversary. It is Black Music Month. This is the anniversary of David Ruffin, the legendary lead singer of the Temptations. Ain't nobody coming to see you, Otis Ruffin. Right. And he allegedly passed away from a drug overdose, although his family and friends suspect foul play. That happened in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. He had come off the road, a European tour with Dennis Edwards and Eddie Kendrick, and supposedly he went into a crack house with money in his briefcase, and he went with a money belt with $50,000 and never came out with it. His body was dumped at a hospital and he was laying as a John Doe. They said $40,000 was missing. His own kids think it was foul play. Yeah. Aretha and Stevie sang at the funeral, and that's correct. They actually had Michael Jackson paying. Yeah, he paid for the funeral. He actually, from what I heard, Robert Townsend, who was there, he said they did. Michael was there. He was actually in disguise. He didn't want to cause Michael shows up to something, everybody stops to look at him. That happened at a Lakers game. He was invited to go see Magic Johnson play, and when he went out there, to the floor, everybody was just screaming, "Michael, Michael!" And they had to stop the game. Everybody just went nuts. All right. Yeah, Minister Farrakhan gave the eulogy. All right. Yeah. Yeah. All right, family. We're gonna wrap this thing up. But rest in power, David Ruffin. I will see you all in the next one. Follow me on X, ladies and gentlemen. Follow me on X, GavMRich2786. GavMRich2786. And I will see you all in the next one. Be safe, and be blessed. I'll holla. Peace. Whoever you are, wherever you are, hope you are blessed and doing safe. Ladies and gentlemen, greetings, family. Of course, I'm tuning in. You see me without the glasses off today. But if you're looking for some opportunities, particular advertisement opportunities, then look no further at the link at the bottom to my email address. You can hit me up for advertisement opportunities. We are supporting and promoting your businesses here on this channel. You can also, if you would like to donate and subscribe to our Patreon, a link is at the bottom as well. So you have multiple ways in which you can advertise with the platform by emailing me when we go on through our live stream. You also have access to premium content, those that want to see premium content that you will not find here on YouTube or Facebook or Twitter, as I am suspended probably by now. You guys can check out the Patreon at link at the bottom. But advertisement opportunities, definitely email me, gavin.grich1@gmail.com for rates. And for the Patreon, it is the same as the YouTube channel. It is channel gboot2786. All right, I'll holla. Peace.